The power to move a nation forward takes root in the productivity of business and industries. As your Meralco Corporate Partner, we understand the role power plays in fueling the growth of your business, how it moves, how it brings things to life, how it drives your business, and ultimately, how it plays a role in building a nation. We have evolved from being a power distribution company to a total energy solutions provider.
We value the fact that Meralco has taken a very proactive approach to customer service and given us the ability to provide reliable and sustainable services to our customers, effectively tying our relationship with Meralco to our relationship with our customers.
There is power in partnerships. Partner with us today.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Alfred and welcome to Power Ideas. So for those of you new to the channel, I am an engineer and also manager of Meralco Power Lab. Now in my line of work, I actually get to meet a lot of people. So from engineers, professionals, business people, contractors, students. Basically, I get to know all their problems or concerns about electricity, like paano ba makatipid, paano ba maging energy efficient, basically anything and everything about electricity, no? And you know what? Ang dami rin naming realizations, no? We at Meralco also realize is that a lot of these problems, concerns could have been avoided if people knew more about how power and electricity work here in the Philippines. So that's why we came up with this, Power Ideas. Here, we're going to talk about things na sa tingin namin dapat malaman ng ating mga customers. So whether you are a technical or non-technical person, we will try our best to simplify things for you. No? So everything about power, electricity, energy, so lahat yan pag-uusapan here. And here's the thing, no? Pag tama at maayos ang paggamit niyan, it can really make a lot of difference in our homes, offices, businesses, basically our lives. No? And today, we are going to talk about power quality. So now, the question is, what is power quality? And what does it mean to actually have a good power quality? Well, it depends on whom you ask. For most people, or the non-technical ones, it simply means na kapag mayroon akong kuryenteng nagagamit right now, that is reliable, consistent, that's already good power quality for them. Simple, right? But for us engineers, or the technical ones, we define power quality a little bit differently. So for us, good power quality can be defined as a steady supply of voltage and a frequency that stays within a prescribed range, normal values. So imagine also a sine wave. So yan yung S-form light na waveform. Yan. It should be continuous and smooth.
You can see it here in the analyzer. We have a steady supply voltage, frequency stays at the rated value, and voltage curve is a smooth sine wave.
And if those parameters are met, you have a good power quality. And here in the Philippines, good power quality means that it follows the parameters set by the Philippine Distribution Code.
To meet these parameters, Meralco regularly conducts system reliability checks, upgrades, and line maintenance works to address any issues or hazards.
Why do we do this? Because good power quality is very important. Without good power quality, our appliance or equipment will malfunction, or worse, masira talaga. And that's something that none of us want to happen.
Now, we at Meralco do everything that we can to make sure that you, our customers, get good power quality. But it's also important to understand that Meralco is just one part of the equation or one part of the system that determines power quality. You see, power quality comes from the concerted efforts of all the stakeholders involved in what is called the power supply chain.
The power supply chain looks like this, and it has four main stakeholders: generation, transmission, distribution, and the end users. We will be talking more about this in our next episode.
Well, that's it for now. We really do hope that you learned something useful today about power quality. And please share this video or leave us a like if you enjoyed it. Well, I hope so. And we'd like to know your ideas too. So please do leave a comment or two down below. We have more useful information to share in the next episode, which will be presented by my fellow engineer, Kairos. You'll see him here next on Power Ideas.
You can also subscribe and click the bell icon so you are notified when we upload new videos.
I'm David Saldran. In this edition of Power Ideas, we talk to Kevin Benning, Chief Operating Officer of City of Dreams, Manila, about how the integrated resort has embarked on a campaign towards sustainability. You know, in a city known for having one of the world's most spectacular sunsets, City of Dreams, Manila is the first integrated resort in the country to harness solar energy in equally spectacular fashion. So, hello there, Kevin. You know, if it wasn't for the pandemic, I would have loved to see in person, physically, how City of Dreams Manila was able to transform the rooftops of your parking buildings to generate solar power. But I guess a virtual tour with you would be the best for now, right?
Hi, David. Yes, it is. You know, welcome to the new normal. We're doing our best to make it work, and I cannot wait to take you on a personal tour of our rooftop when we go back to normal.
All right, Kevin, I'm looking forward to that visit. In the meantime, let's talk about how City of Dreams Manila has made a conscious decision to reduce its carbon footprint, with solar power being one of those initiatives. You currently have, I understand, 3,120 solar panels installed in the rooftops of 2 parking buildings, right? Now, that's the record for the largest installation in Metro Manila.
The amount of power produced by these solar panels is enough to light up 12,000 homes for a year, with an average monthly bill of 1,500 pesos.
That is correct. The City of Dreams Manila is extremely proud to be the first integrated resort in the country to harness solar energy. Now, this project, we invested 76 million pesos at 1.2 megawatts of solar power into this property, maximizing our car park, as we mentioned. It's an extremely important step for us to achieve our goal for carbon neutrality and becoming a zero waste resort. You know, having a clean and renewable source of energy with no waste or emissions is just the right thing to do in our world moving forward.
That sounds really fantastic, Kevin. Congratulations. But I want to know, what are we looking at in terms of savings in power costs?
Oh, we're looking at about 16 million pesos of energy savings per year. That equals about 20% of our hotel power consumption across our 940 rooms. But more than savings, we're looking at the larger picture. As an environmentally responsible business, we must do our share in the global movement to combat climate change, and we want to make a difference and fulfill our social responsibility.
Why did you choose Meralco subsidiary, Spectrum, as your partner?
I was asked this question quite a few times in December when we launched this program and implemented our solar panels. And the answer is very simple. Spectrum provides the best solutions, services, and capabilities in the Philippines in regards to solar and energy saving solutions. You know, on top of that, with Spectrum being a subsidiary of Meralco, who is somebody we've worked extremely closely with since we started City of Dreams, we have a great level of trust in the long-term vision of Spectrum. And something I continue to share with everyone is the speed and efficiency of which this project came together. Now, it was only 4 months from start to finish when we partnered with Spectrum in July of 2019 to launch this fully in December of 2019. I've been working here for 5 years, and I've yet to see a project come together as quickly and as well as this one did.
I also understand, Kevin, there are other initiatives within your resort complex which are geared towards self-sufficiency, correct? All of which fall under your Sustainable Dreams program. So tell me more about this program of yours.
As part of our overall sustainability strategy for Meralco Resorts,
and entertainment across all of our properties in Asia and Europe. We launched here in Manila the Sustainable Dreams program in 2018. And that's really focused on long-term sustainability initiatives across multiple channels.
Wow, that's an amazing list of programs. And the best thing about it is, these are all long-term programs with long-term effects. So whether there's a pandemic or not, Kevin, like those solar panels of yours, for example, they'll continue to generate power, whether there's a pandemic or not. You know what, as they say in your industry, the house always wins. But at City of Dreams Manila, looks like the environment wins as well.
That's absolutely true, David. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much as well, Kevin Benning, COO of City of Dreams Manila. Stay safe, Kevin.
You as well.
This is David Saldran for Power Ideas by Meralco.
Understands that reliable and dependable energy is necessary to sustain and grow a business. Businesses that power a nation. Power Ideas by Meralco. Brought to you by the Meralco Corporate Partners. San Beda College is a private Roman Catholic college with a satellite campus in Alabang, Muntinlupa. It is a sprawling 9.6-hectare campus with a student population of 7,000 from preschool to postgraduate levels. This campus, which first opened its doors in 1972, has gone through major changes through the years. In July 2013, the leadership of San Beda College Alabang decided to implement an energy efficiency campaign throughout its campus.
My vision in terms of energy consumption is for San Beda to be a front runner in being an energy efficient school. Now, this can only be done through a close and continuous monitoring and improvement of the power utilization in the school.
Our school, San Beda College, in the south, we noticed that it increased its population. And the volume of our students coincides with our energy consumption. So we have to take a measure in order to conserve energy and our consumption of electricity in order to save. And our savings will go back to the school because we use it to buy or upgrade our facilities.
After San Beda reached out to Meralco, Relationship Manager Patrick Panlilio set up a meeting with San Beda to discuss how to improve the utilization of electricity in the campus.
Pagtawag sa team ng Meralco sa aming school ay dagli nga sila nag-conduct ng energy efficiency audit sa aming paaralan. At pagkatapos nga nito ay nilibot namin yung mga classrooms, mga offices.
Together with the school's technical personnel, a thorough walkthrough of the electrical facilities of the school was conducted by the engineers of Meralco. Energy Solutions engineer Boyam Calderon and his team came up with a detailed recommendation on how to more effectively manage the school's power.
Dinala na yung kopya dito sa San Beda at pinakita nga sa amin ang mga naging problema na nakita nila. So karamihan nga sa gamit namin mga equipment, sa mga naiiwang bukas na bintana, at nakita din nila yung mga luma naming aircon na pilit pa rin namin pinagagana maski pwede nang i-junk.
Besides the gradual replacement of conventional to inverter-type air conditioners, Meralco's recommendations also included replacing lighting with LED lights that not only consume less power, but provide more effective lighting. The use of blinds and window tinting were also practical solutions to keep out the heat and optimize air conditioning. Suggestions like keeping a steady thermostat were practical solutions that did not require any investment.
After a year, when we implemented the recommendation of Meralco, not only I am surprised, but we are all very happy because we saw the drastic difference and the lowering of our electrical consumption. So we save a lot. I think we succeeded in being efficient in utilizing our facilities, especially our energy consumption.
The proper implementation in San Beda's grade school buildings were replicated in the high school and college facilities. Meralco does regular preventive maintenance checkups for the school's electrical facilities. These consolidated efforts have brought down energy consumption by 70,000 kilowatt hours for academic year 2014 to 2015. The program also brought about substantial savings for the campus. Despite the increase in the number of enrollees, the EII, or Energy Intensity Index, decreased.
Meralco helped us, assisted us in controlling and managing our tuition fees and expenses. Our quality education doesn't come with a regular increase of the fee or high price. And more importantly, our students will also inculcate the values of energy management so they can help not only in the society and our school, but also they can apply it at their home and help their parents save from their expenses.
We are happy to be of service to a learning institution like San Beda College, Alabang, as it provides quality education for a brighter future for the growth of our nation. It's our privilege to assist and contribute in every way to further knowledge and education. Ako po si Patrick Panlilio at ito po ang aking team ng energy experts. Handa pong tumulong sa inyo.
Power Ideas by Meralco for end-to-end energy solutions. Contact your Meralco Corporate Partners. Talk to us today.
We studied and looked for ways to reduce our electricity consumption and maintenance costs at the same time for our equipment. Currently, MServe is handling our chiller management system here in ILCC Alabang. Insular Life was able to save 24 million in 2016 and 26 million in 2017. For their future projects here, they will be upgrading our building management system here also in Alabang because we wanted to have an efficient, accurate monitoring of mechanical, electrical, electromechanical equipment.
Pleasant afternoon to our valued customers and business partners. Welcome to the Meralco Power Up Live webinar entitled Back in Business for 2021. Updates on Sustainability and Energy Efficiency. I am Nico Paulo Bayo, one of the Corporate Relationship Manager of Meralco, and the accounts I'm currently handling are San Miguel, Pepsi, Ribisco Group, most of the snacks and flour mills in the Metro Manila, and also the agri-cocoa accounts in the South area. On behalf of Meralco, we would like to thank you for your support for the past year. The COVID-19 pandemic has greatly impacted us in ways that most of us did not expect. And we thank you for working with us um, as we all face this new normal. We hope that through this webinar, Meralco can share with you its sustainability initiatives, salient points of the energy efficiency and conservation law, and how Meralco can help your company to comply with this law. For the house rules, throughout this webinar, feel free to type your comments or your questions. We highly encourage everyone to identify yourselves so that we can acknowledge you properly. We will try to post and answer all of your questions during the Q&A portion later. Please avoid posting your personal details such as SIN, mobile number, or address. And now, to formally start this webinar, let us hear from Mr. Rene Suwa, serving as the industry lead for the food and beverage team of the Corporate Business Group.
Thank you, Nico. A pleasant afternoon to our valued customers and business partners. Thank you for joining us today at our webinar entitled Back in Business for 2021, Updates on Sustainability and Energy Efficiency. I hope that you and your families are keeping safe in the face of this pandemic. My name is Rene Suga, serving as the team lead for the food and beverage industry of Meralco's Corporate Business Group. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus once said that the only thing that is constant is change. Nothing endures but change. We will all remember 2020 as a year of unprecedented changes, not only on the global health and economic crisis, but also on how we deal with our own lives. The best that we can do is to move forward and bounce back and think of ways on how to improve ourselves, one of which is to focus on sustainability and energy efficiency projects. With the energy efficiency and conservation laws aim for us to be sustainable businesses, change is set upon us again as we need to educate and refresh ourselves on what this law mandates, and more importantly, what impact it may have on the industry we are in and to all our collective businesses. As we continue to face this new normal in 2021, many businesses are facing a path forward, full of stumbling blocks, trying to adapt their operations so they can serve their customers best. Let us simply use these stumbling blocks to build something better for the future of our business. We hope that with this webinar, we would be able to address your business concerns and continue to shed light on how we can navigate the times ahead together. Again, maraming salamat po and have a productive afternoon.
Thank you, Sir Rene. Moving along to our program, our first speaker will talk about the sustainability initiatives of Meralco. Let us all welcome on screen Relationship Manager of the Food and Beverage Industry, Ms. Mia Marquez.
Thank you, Nico. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm glad to share with you our sustainability report. Our hope in sharing this with you is that you may get additional ideas or inputs, which you may also adopt in your own sustainability initiatives. As a note, our President and Chief Executive Officer, Attorney Racy Espinosa, is spearheading our sustainability efforts. Let's take a look at the world we live presently. In our country alone, about 47,000 hectares of forest cover is lost yearly. This loss of natural resources will negatively impact humanity in the long run. Today, we have an estimate of about 7 million Filipinos who do not have access to clean and potable water. In addition to that, our country is ranked third highest in air pollution-related deaths. Most prominent of all the issues listed, there's poverty. Statistics say that an estimate of about 16.6% of the Filipino population is expecting great poverty. According to studies, the Earth's deterioration is progressing steadily each year. That is, unless we do something about it. This is our sustainability agenda, which is rooted in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or the UNSDG. In this slide, you will see the 17 goals. I'll give you a few seconds to glance over them. As a utility company, our focus is on goal number 7, or affordable and clean energy. Despite that though, we're actually able to promote other SDGs through our other businesses and initiatives. Our sustainability agenda is focused on 4 areas: power, planet, people, and prosperity. For power, our aspiration is to provide energy for all at all times, as we exert effort to provide affordable, reliable, and accessible clean energy to everyone we serve. And then for planet, it captures our initiatives to help protect and preserve Mother Earth. For people, this is where we embed a culture of excellence, sustainability, and inclusivity across our organization. Finally, on prosperity, it is something that underpins all the other P's. This is our drive to help create a better life for all. That is our sustainability agenda. It is then operationalized by our overarching sustainability program, #Powering the Good Life. And this is supported by 5 pillars. They are community electrification, direct emissions reduction, resource efficiency, waste management, and workplace and operational excellence. Each of these, one or more of the focus areas we mentioned earlier. For community electrification under power, we have the Meralco Electrification Program. Under this arm, our aim is to achieve 100% energization of our franchise area by 2021. We're also into energizing far-flung communities, and as an example, we have energized Isla Verde and Cagbalete Island in Quezon Province. This is with the microgrid solutions combining up solar PVs and batteries. Now we proceed to planet. As you recall, we have 3 agendas. And first is the direct emissions reduction. Under this, there are initiatives to help reduce our carbon footprint. In particular, we would like to dignify our power supply portfolio so that by 2021, we would like to secure an addition of 2,000 megawatt of RE supply contracts through mGreen. We would also like to invest around 1,350 megawatts in renewable energy projects in the next 5 years. As an example, the first maiden project of mGreen is in San Miguel, Bulacan, which broke ground in December of last year and is expected to come online during the first quarter of this year. To date, we have 24 megawatt own new solar installed within our franchise. We are also trying to explore battery energy storage systems. In fact, we already have piloted the 2 megawatt lithium-based battery storage facility in San Rafael, Bulacan. This is the first grid-scale battery connected to the network, and it will help us better manage the intermittency coming from our RE investments. Next, under planet, after decarbonization or reduction of carbon emissions, is the electrification of powered vehicles fleet. Under this program, we can scan our fleets to determine which ones we can electrify. As part of this, we have launched our Green Mobility Program, which entails electrifying the vehicle fleet of Meralco. As an example of this, we've deployed around 60 e-bikes to our business centers for the use of our field representatives during their meter inspections. We're currently scanning our service utility vehicle fleets comprised of pickups and basket trucks, among others, to determine which ones we can energize in the next few years. Finally, under vehicle electrification, during pandemic, we already launched the e-micromobility program, e-micromobility employee purchase program, which encourages our employees to transition to e-motorcycle kick scooters for their commuting. Outside Meralco, through our Isakay, we launched the Makati Mandaluyong electric jeep operation in 2019. We also deployed the event to transporting students and faculty members at De La Salle University, Malabon. Last year, we also launched the Heritage Route in Marikina City by providing them our e-jeeps. Still under Planet, we have energy efficiency measures. Under this, we've launched the resource conservation and energy efficiency programs wherein we replace majority of our lighting fixtures in our facilities with LED alternatives. We also launched an energy efficiency dashboard. On the other side of this, through our MServe, strive to help our customers. This is by providing them energy efficiency solutions. Here we provide power quality audits, lighting efficiency audits, HVAC efficiency services, and energy management system offerings. Under Planet, which is another program under sustainability, is the Race to Zero Waste. Here, we try to minimize the amount of waste we generate and divert as much as we can away from landfills. Also, under Race to Zero Waste program, we've implemented #HealthWithoutHarm. This is our initiatives, which aims to facilitate responsible management of our COVID-19 waste. Under this, we created guidelines for the handling of the disposable PPEs in our workplace, where we also deployed yellow bins for our COVID-19 waste in all of our facilities. With all this, we make sure that we comply with DOH guidelines and DENR standards. Finally, under the Race to Zero Waste, it is worth noting that we are already using ester oil for our distribution transformers. Ester oil, this is good for the environment as it is derived from plant-based substances, and its main benefit is that it makes our transformers 99% recyclable and biodegradable. Now, under people, in 2019, we became a pioneer signatory in the UN's Women Empowerment Principles. As of today, we are one of only 4 signatories in the country and the only one in the energy sector. We would also like to highlight our Orange Fit program. Here, we employ a holistic approach in ensuring the physical, mental, and spiritual well-being of all our employees. We also rolled out our Code Light chatbot last year. It helps us monitor the daily work arrangement, including the health and wellness status of all our employees. For prosperity, this is about empowering customers and communities. First, for our customers, we enable them to better understand their consumption. We are talking about more than 7 million customers here. We have Bright Ideas and the Orange Town, which helps them a lot. We also try to improve our customer experience through virtual customer agents and the launch of online customer appointment. This so they can avoid long lines pag bumibisita sa mga business center namin. Yan. With respect to communities, our social development arm, One Meralco Foundation, drive the efforts in the household and school electrification. In 2019, around 8,000 families with low income were energized. Then under school electrification, OMF also installed solar PV kits to the learning tools in off-grid schools. Apart from energization, OMF also tries to educate our youth on the efficient and sustainable use of energy. We have the Energy Ed kits. These are learning packages with flashcards that aims to teach topics to our students about energy efficiency. Meanwhile, through our Bayad Center, we have partnered with the Department of Education in launching the Sapat Dapat. This is a literacy program. It is a financial literacy program. Still under prosperity, we'd also like to highlight that Meralco supports bayanihan and communal unity. In 2019, we deployed engineers to help restore electricity, erect poles, and other activities in Albay after Typhoon Tisoy. In 2020, when Typhoon Rolly devastated Bicol, we also sent our power restoration crew and equipment to Catanduanes. We'd also like to share our efforts, sustainability-wise, amid the pandemic, under the hashtag Powering the Good Life. Under Power, it is our supreme effort to ensure that we keep the lights on for all our customers. In relation to this, we have energized around 700 plus vital institutions, including government agencies, hospitals, and treatment facilities during the pandemic. Under Planet, we use our electric vehicles and we work closely with the DOTR and our LGUs in ferrying our personnel and health workers to and from medical facilities. Under People, we have donated PPEs and food bags to more than 21,000 health workers and other frontliners. We also had our multipurpose hall converted to provide temporary accommodation for medical city frontliners last year. Finally, under Prosperity, we raised close to 30 million pesos from our own employees to fund programs supporting those hardest hit during the pandemic. We also donated care packages and gift certificates to around 14,000 marginalized families. Also in line with our hashtag Powering the Good Life sustainability agenda, Meralco will participate and support this year's Earth Hour through our hashtag Off for Earth campaign. This will be on March 27, Saturday, from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. Earth Hour is a global movement held every year on the last Saturday of March. This is to encourage individuals, organizations, and communities to turn off non-essential electrical loads for just 1 hour. This is so we can put the spotlight on our planet and show how much we care for it, and not only with our planet but ourselves. This is to ensure our health, our happiness, and prosperity. For Meralco, this is just the beginning of our journey. We acknowledge, though, that a lot must still be done. That is for our goal to achieve the Powering the Good Life for all. Now, this is our Meralco subsidiaries. For further inquiries, you may contact your Meralco relationship managers. Now, what do these subsidiaries offer? Here's an overview of some of our subsidiaries. First, we have MServe. MServe offers energy management and indoor air quality solutions. The newest baby, Radius. They provide connectivity solutions anchored on a fiber optic network. So advantage with Radius, higher yung location ng line nila. So lesser yung interruptions natin sa line, mas mabilis yung internet. Then we have Miascore. They offer engineering, construction, and maintenance services. Next is Spectrum. Of course, Spectrum offers solar needs. They can provide us with our solar needs. Last, and then Bayad. This is our outsourced payment collections partner. Then lastly, we have Isakay. They provide an end-to-end electric transport solution. So this, for your EV needs, EV charging needs, you can contact your relationship manager and pa-connect kayo kay Isakay. So that ends my presentation. Thank you everyone for listening. For any inquiries, you may contact Meralco or ask your relationship managers via the contact details shown on the screen. Thank you everyone, and please stay safe.
All right. Thank you, Mia. Moving along to our program, our next speaker will talk about the obligations of designated establishments under the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Law. Let us all welcome on screen Energy Solution Specialist, Mr. Danny Aquilio.
Thank you, Nico. Good afternoon. By now, all of us here have already heard about the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Act, with the due date for submission of reports fast approaching. I'm here now to provide you with some updates and opportunities regarding the latest issuances of the DOE pertaining to the Act. The contents of this presentation include the following: energy service companies, or ESCOs, PELP, or the Philippine Energy Labeling Program, designated establishments, the concept and obligations, energy conserving design of buildings, and fiscal incentives. Republic Act 11285, or the EENC Act, took effect on May 22, 2019. The EENC Act, as it is known, institutionalizes energy efficiency and conservation, promote the development and utilization of efficient renewable energy technologies, grants incentives to energy efficiency and conservation projects, and protect the environment in support of the economic and social development goals of the country. On energy service companies, or ESCOs, ESCOs are well positioned to be our partners, or the partners of designated establishments in compliance with the EENC Act. How? ESCOs offer multi-technology services and goods towards designing and developing energy efficiency projects, delivering and guaranteeing energy savings, and ensuring cost-effective and optimal performance. The governing rules for ESCOs is the Department Circular DC 2020-09-0018. The scope of the Department Circular establishes the guidelines, rules, and procedures in the classification and certification of ESCOs. There are two classifications for ESCOs. First, a registered ESCO is the entry level for energy services company, and they meet the minimum requirements on certain legal and technical capacity. On the other hand, a certified ESCO is, in addition to meeting the requirements of a registered ESCO, shall has also a proven performance or results-based project savings experience with proven customer satisfaction. As of Feb 21, 2020, so Feb 1, 2020, there are a total of 40 certified and registered ESCOs with the DOE. Included in the list is the Meralco Energy Inc. or MSERV. Proceeding now to the Philippine Energy Labeling Program or PELP. There are two issuances on PELP. The first one is Department Circular DC 2020-06-0015, which prescribes the guidelines of the Philippine Energy Labeling Program for compliance of importers, manufacturers, distributors, and dealers of electrical appliances and other energy-consuming products. The second circular is Department Circular DC 2020-06-0016, which prescribes the minimum energy performance for products, or MEPP, for the covered products of the PELP. The overall goal of PLP and MEPP is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions through the use of energy-efficient products. The initial list of PLP covered products include room air conditioning units, refrigeration appliances, televisions, as well as lighting products. Now on the concept of designated establishments. Designated establishments are entities in the commercial, industrial, transport, power, and other sectors identified by the DOE as energy intensive based on their annual energy consumption equivalent, which is a combination of fuel and electricity consumption based in the previous year. There are three classifications of DEs. First is the type other DE, or those that consumed at least 100,000 kilowatt hours equivalent, but less than 500,000 kilowatt hours equivalent. Second is the type 1 DE, or those whose consumption are in excess of 500,000 kilowatt hours equivalent, but under 4 million kilowatt hours equivalent. And the third is the type 2 DEs, or those in excess of 4 million kilowatt hours equivalent in annual energy consumption. DEs are governed by Memorandum Circular Number MC 2020-05-0001, which directed all designated establishments to submit, among others, energy consumption report. In terms of requirements, other DEs are required to submit their annual energy efficiency conservation report, or AEECR, contained as EEC Form 3, as well as their annual energy utilization report, or AEUR, contained in EEC Form 4. The AEECR describes the establishment's energy efficiency and conservation plans, programs, activities, and their implemented and ongoing projects. This shall also include the target value of investment and savings or improvement in productivity with regards to their energy savings. On the other hand, the AEUR covers the reporting of utilized energy for the calendar year. DEs are mandated to integrate an energy management system or similar framework into their business operation, but they are only encouraged on certification. Now, a Type 1 designated establishment is required to have an energy conservation officer. The ECO would have at least 2 years continuous hands-on experience in the installation, operation, and maintenance of energy-consuming machines and equipment in the very same or similar Type 1 designated establishment. Type 1 DEs are also required to set up annual targets, plans, and methods of measurement and verification for the implementation of energy efficiency and conservation projects. For Type 2 designated establishments, they are required to have an energy manager. An energy manager should be a graduate of a 4-year course or equivalent, preferably engineering, with at least 3 years of continuous hands-on experience in the maintenance, installation, operation of energy-consuming machines and equipment, again in Type 2 designated establishments. Just like Type 1 DEs, Type 2 DEs are to submit their annual energy efficiency and conservation report and AEUR through the DOE's online submission portal. Now, what is required in this point in time is the registration of the ECO CEM. So designated establishment have to fill up the corresponding EEC Form 1, that's for EM, for their energy managers, or EEC Form 2, for their energy conservation officers, as the case may be. For either ECO or EM, a designated establishment may designate one of its employees or hire from a third-party ESCO. That's from the latest guidance of the DOE. One ECO or EM may handle multiple locations, facilities, and can serve for the enterprise or multiple locations or facilities, as long as the ECO or EM can still deliver and comply with the obligations and responsibilities stated in the Memorandum Circular. In terms of certification of ECO, EM, and EA, this is governed by DC 2021-01-0001. The DC provides the guidelines for the qualifications, registrations, and certification of these three professionals. Directionally, the DOE will do a recognition program for the training institutes that will provide for the required certification program, and these certificates will be recognized by the DOE. The proposed validity of the certificates will be for 3 years, subject to continuing qualifications requirement. The submission of the EEC Forms 1, 2, 3, and 4 are due on the 15th of April. You can scan the QR code or follow the link provided in this slide. Based on the latest guidance by the DOE, submission of the reports shall be based on the calendar year basis, that is January to December. And for EEC Form 4, although the MC requires a 6-year reporting period starting at year 2015, backtracking of data applies only whenever possible. Now, submission as an enterprise for designated establishments with multiple locations or facilities is allowed for the AEUR and AECR. However, the details for each location or facility must be disaggregated. Now, Type 1 and 2 DEs are also required to conduct an energy audit once every 3 years by engaging either a certified energy auditor or a DOE accredited ESCO for this purpose and submit an energy audit report to the DOE as part of the reportorial requirements earlier mentioned. Now, one frequently asked question is, when do we consider the 3-year period for energy audit? So the explanation given by the DOE for those done in 2018, the energy audit is valid until this year. Those energy audits done in 2019 are valid until next year. Those done last year are valid until 2023, and those done this year are valid up to 2024. Now, some examples of EE projects that you may include in your AECR are the following: reduction of building cooling demand, lighting system retrofit, installation of a building energy management system, best practices such as in the operation of air conditioning system and other equipment, and adoption of the guidelines on energy conserving design of buildings during retrofit, to name a few. Now, proceeding to the topic on the energy conserving design of buildings, which is covered by DC 2020-12-0026. The DC took effect last March 6. The energy conserving design of buildings encourages and promotes the energy efficient design of buildings with due regard to cost effectiveness, building function, comfort, health, safety, and productivity of the occupants. New building construction retrofits having electrical loads of at least 112.5 kVA, or those with at least 10,000 square meters of gross floor area of commercial and vertical developments are covered by these guidelines. Now, key highlights of the guidelines include a section on building, another section for electrical systems, and also for mechanical systems. Its effect will be on the permitting requirements during construction or retrofits upon integration of the guidelines on energy conserving design of buildings into the Philippine Green Building Code. The requirements for energy efficiency in buildings will boost the demand for energy efficient materials and technologies to help meet the requirements of the guidelines. Now on fiscal incentives. The Department of Energy is proposing new income tax holiday rates for energy efficiency and conservation projects as its counterpart to the BOI's MC 2021-001, which already include EE projects in its 2020 investment priorities plan. Now, for equipment, process, or boundary level projects with 15% to 20% savings, the DOE is looking to offer 30% ITH of the cost of installed EEC projects or systems for self-financed projects, and 50% ITH for third-party ENC project development. Um, for equipment, process, or boundary level projects generating energy savings of more than 20% and up to 25% uh, will be offered with 40% ITH of the cost installed for self-funded projects and 75% ITH for those with third-party partners. Higher ITH will be given to the same projects with energy savings of more than 25%, to 50% for self-financed projects and 100% for third-party ENC project development. Now, ENC projects are included in the investment priorities plan of the BOI for the next 10 years with current incentives tied to the amount of the project. Now, the DOE will also be proposing to BOI to include energy efficiency and conservation projects in the preferred activities under the incentive rationalization plan of the government. Now, why energy efficiency? It is hoped that through ENC, about 15% savings will be realized across all sectors. With ENC, the predicted maximum potential savings this year would be equivalent to 17.3 terawatt hours and up to 28 terawatt hours by 2035. At 10 pesos per kilowatt hour, the energy savings would be equivalent to 173 billion pesos this year, all the way up to 280 billion pesos by 2035. Thank you for your kind attention, and for more info, you may contact your account or energy manager or account officer through the indicated contact details. Maraming salamat po.
All right. Thank you, Sir Danny. Again, for our valued customers, feel free to type your questions and comments. Libreng-libre po ito. We encourage you to identify yourselves and from what company you are working on so we can acknowledge you properly. Now, we would like to call on our next speaker to share with us how Meralco can help your company to comply with this law. Let us all welcome on screen Senior Account Manager, Mr. Jan Pocholo Pabilona.
Okay, thank you, Sir Nico, for that wonderful introduction. Good afternoon again to everyone. So I'm here to present about our company, MServ or Meralco Energy Inc. Just to give you a brief introduction about our company, we are a 100% subsidiary of Meralco that caters our clients' electromechanical needs. We are also accredited by the DOE as an ESCO or Energy Service Company. We're also categorized by the PICAB as a AAA contractor for electromechanical works. Recently, we also acquired our ISO 9001 and 14001 certifications. We learned in the previous presentation, the EENC law requires an obligation from us, enforces proper management of our consumption, and provides incentives for our compliance. Here are the 5 major items we should prepare in compliance to the EENC law. First is appointing your energy managers and energy conservation officer. Next is preparation of your energy management framework. This will help you plan your activities in order to enforce and improve your energy efficiency. Next is the preparation of your reports and compliance audits. For April 15 submission, we also need to prepare our 5-year record consumption data starting from 2015 up to 2020. And last is the implementation of our recommended solutions in order to improve your energy efficiency. Just to recap the guidelines mentioned earlier, here are the summary of compliance requirements for Type 1 and Type 2 designated establishments. You could also use the projected link in order to register your establishments. Here are also the summary of the reporting requirements, including the 4 forms mentioned earlier by Sir Danny Aquilio. And just to remind everyone again, the submission for these forms is on April 15, 2021. So are you ready for the EENC law implementation? MServ can help you comply with these 3 services: energy management, audit and advisory, design and build. For the energy management system, we divided it into 4 phases. The phase 1, introduction to EENC. Phase 2 is EENC awareness and compliance. Phase 3 is Energy Management Framework, and Phase 4, Energy Efficiency Improvements. The first two phases aims to help you with the initial April 2021 compliance, and the Phase 3 and 4 will focus on the implementation of projects which could help you improve your energy efficiency. Our audit is also categorized into three types. Our energy audit aims to identify or baseline your current consumption status and help you identify possible solutions we can offer to improve your efficiency. Investment grade audit is a thorough and detailed audit in order to check the feasibility of identified ESCO projects. The third focus on the safety and reliability of your facility, including your power quality, in order to ensure continuous operations. In the energy audit, you can have an overview of your energy baseline, equipment system summary, and consumption trends. We could also see the actual equipment condition, power factor and harmonics, and help you with other energy management opportunities. After the audit, we could now proceed with the design and build of proper solutions based on the experts' recommendations and findings. For electrical, we have the supply and installation of high-efficiency motors, supply of protective equipment such as sag correctors in order to address voltage fluctuations, capacitor banks in order to improve our power factor, and harmonic filters to correct our harmonic distortion. In a typical facility, around 60% of the energy consumption falls with the air conditioning system. With this, we could provide design and installation of high-efficient chillers, VRF and VFD systems. We could also provide district cooling system, inverter system, and heat recovery system. Most of us are already using LED lights, and we could help you further improve your operation efficiency to the use of smart lighting technologies. This includes installation of controllers and sensors for the automatic dimming and switching of your lighting equipment. MSERV could also provide an energy management system which can help you with the daily monitoring and data logging of your consumption. We could also introduce building and facility management system in order to optimize our equipment efficiency through automation. This also includes chiller energy management system and the lighting management system. Here's the sample of our dashboard under the energy management system. We could customize it in line with your preference. Using this management system could also help you in monitoring multiple sites such as warehouse and stores. Here are additional parameters you could check while using the dashboard. You could have the month-date performance, daily consumption, energy partition, partition profile, and even send you alarms and notifications. You could also, since our dashboard is also browser-based, you could also access it to multiple devices such as laptops, cell phones, and tablets. We've also prepared different sample kits for the data gathering of our EMS. Since most of you are from the manufacturing industry, we could install the electrical plant room kit and chiller plant room kit, which includes power quality meters, temperature and pressure sensors, and ultrasonic flow meters. The total of number of points will still depend on the size of your facility. MSERV already completed multiple energy efficiency projects in the past, and we would like to share with you the results of these projects. And Lex, we are the one who pioneered the replacement of their HPS lamps to LED lamps, which reduced their lighting bill by 63%, or annual savings of 14 million. We've also retrofitted the lighting and air conditioning system of Meralco business centers, which result to a total savings of 60 million peso annual savings. MDC is also one of our partners in EPC of Powerhouse, and through proper sizing of equipment, we managed to reduce their capex by 20% while ensuring its reliability. As mentioned in the video earlier, Insular Life is also one of our clients who retrofitted their chiller system and utilized their chiller management system and oil-free magnetic chillers, which resulted to 60% reduction in their power consumption, or around 2 million savings per month. Meralco BSC Office also utilizes the same technology, which translated into 7.2 million annual savings. Robinson's Malls are also enjoying their energy savings by installing oil-free magnetic chillers and our chiller management platform. We've already installed oil-free magnetic chillers to more than 10 sites of of their malls and mixed-use buildings. Last is the installation of our capacitor bank with Republic Cement, which helped them correct their power factor to 95% and change their penalties into incentives. Similar to other valued clients we've already helped before, we are looking forward to help you future-proof your business with energy efficiency solutions. For any inquiries, you may also contact or course it through your respective relationship managers. Thank you, everyone, and good afternoon to everyone.
Thank you, Cholo. At this point, we will now proceed with the Q&A portion. Again, feel free to type your questions or comments. We will encourage you to identify yourselves so that we can acknowledge you properly. I shall now direct the comments and questions of our viewers. Okay. From an anonymous customer, what are some energy efficiency practices have you employed in your own buildings in Meralco? I believe Miss Mia can answer this question. Hi, Mia.
Thank you for that question, Nico. Good afternoon, everyone again. Among others, we have installed solar PVs for our Lopez building and our TSB building, both in Ortigas. Aside from that, we have replaced our conventional air conditioner units with inverter types. What else? We also installed heat reflecting films in Lopez building so as to reduce heat. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for that answer, Mia. Another question from an anonymous customer. We are planning to install solar at our plant. Since we are not planning to export power, do we still need to inform Meralco? I believe Sir Rene can answer this question.
Okay, thank you for the question. The answer is yes, you still need to inform Meralco as we will still subject this to a distribution impact study or DIS and ensure that the solar facilities installed have the required protection equipment and safe for both Meralco and customer during the maintenance and operation of this solar plant. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sir Rene. Another question from an anonymous customer. Can an REE be an energy manager, or should the EM or the energy manager have the continuous hands-on experience? I believe Sir Danny can answer this question.
Thank you for that question, Nico. So an energy manager, let's again review the requirement for the energy manager. An energy manager should be a graduate of a 4-year course, preferably engineering, and should have at least 3 years of continuous hands-on experience on in the installation, operation, and maintenance of Type 2 designated facilities. So a registered electrical engineer could be an energy manager. Aside from being an engineer, he should have that required experience, equivalent to at least 3 years. So that answers the question. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sir Danny, for that answer. Another question from an anonymous customer. Can MServe provide CECO or CEM services if we do not want to hire a designated CECO or CEM in our company? I believe Cholo can answer this question.
Yes, Sir Nico, thank you for that question. Based on the latest guidelines of DOE, yes, you could outsource your SECO and SEM, and MServe could also help you with that service.
All right. Thank you, Cholo, for that. Okay. Another question from Mr. Ted. Related to the AEUR Form 3 submission, which requires 5 years data submission, what will happen if we are only able to consolidate 2 to 3 years data? Are there any negative consequence for the establishment related to this? I believe we're having a technical difficulties. May we ask for your patience? All right. Thank you. For the question of Mr. Ted, again, related to the AEUR Form 3 submission, which requires 5 years data submission, what will happen if we are only able to consolidate 2 to 3 years data? Are there negative consequences for the establishment related to this failure or to submit complete data? I believe Sir Danny can answer this question.
Okay, thank you for that question. Based on the latest guidance from the Department of Energy, backtracking of data only applies whenever possible. So if the available data is only 3 years, then that would suffice. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sir Danny, for that question. Another question from an anonymous customer. Can this tax incentive be retroactively applied to energy efficient machines and equipment we've already installed? I think again, Sir Danny, you can answer this question.
It is possible if the energy efficiency project was done through a DOE certified party or through an ESCO, and it had been endorsed by the DOE to the BOI. Now, treatment of the ITH would be prospective or once the ENC project becomes operational. So there would be an endorsement by the DOE to the BOI. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Sir Danny. From an anonymous question from an anonymous customer, what would be the payback period for a retrofit of HVAC? Cholo, can you answer this question?
Yes, sir. The payback period for our ESCO solutions will still depend on your existing system, but the typical retrofitting of HVAC has a payback period of around 3 to 5 years. Thank you.
Yun, again. Thank you, Cholo. Thank you for answering that. From my customer, Sir Alexis Reyes of IFP Manufacturing Corporation, are we getting a copy of the presentation material? Yes, sir, Alex. We'll be sharing the links of the webinar recording and the presentation materials after this one. Thank you. Another question from an anonymous customer. If we have multiple establishments, is it allowed to just assign one ECO or EM instead of placing one per establishment? Sir Danny, can you answer this question?
Sure, Nico. Thank you. So the answer is yes. As long as the ECO or the energy manager can still deliver and comply with the repertorial requirements of the Department of Energy. So hanggat kaya pwede. Thank you.
All right. Pwede. Another question from an anonymous customer. For the investment grade audit, can the duration be shortened in time for April 2021 deadline? I think Cholo can answer this question.
Yes, sir, Nico. No? For the investment grade audit, the typical duration is around 30 days. So we could capture the normal operations. But we can further discuss on how we could shorten it depending on your operations. Audits are also not required for this year, but for next year submission, we're going to require the audit report for the DOE compliance.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that, Cholo. Another question from an anonymous customer. If we install EE measures, how soon can we anticipate savings, realized gains, since installation is quite hefty on the company's pocket as well? I think Cholo can answer this question.
Yes, sir, Nico. Thank you for that question. Typically, for yung mga EE projects natin, no, meron naman siya impact agad doon sa consumption natin once na na-install na natin. But yung payback period, it will take time and ma-determine natin siya during the audit or feasibility studies.
All right, thank you, Cholo. Another question from an anonymous customer. Other than MServe services, are there other ways Meralco can help its customers achieve energy efficiency? I believe Mia can answer this question.
Good afternoon again. Aside from MServe, we have our Meralco Power Lab or Meralco Power Academy, which provides trainings to our customers. They provide energy efficiency trainings actually. And then we have Power Lab. I call this the home of our bright ideas and orange tags. Here we let our customers experience our energy efficiency products. So they'll know kung ano yung mga products na tested namin and recommended. So when you go to, let's say, the department store or the appliance store, yung mga appliances na may orange stickers, dumaan yan sa Power Lab ni Meralco. And then, aside from that, we have Isakay. Si Isakay provides our EV and EV charging solutions. And lastly, we have our Spectrum. Spectrum provides us our solar needs, solar solutions. Nico, thank you.
All right. Thank you for that answer, Mia. Another question from an anonymous customer. I've read in the news that DOLE has issued ventilation guidelines for workplaces and public transport. Can you explain what will be its impact to us, manufacturing companies? All right. See, I believe Cholo can answer this question.
Yes, sir. Apo, regarding dun sa guidelines with the DOLE. Basically, it requires us to maintain around 6 to 12 air change per hour, depending on your facility. If I remember correctly, for a building or typical office, nag-require sila ng 6 ACH or air exchange per hour. Pwede kayo mag-conduct ng self-assessment para makita niyo yung status ng inyong ventilation and i-ensure natin na laging treated yung ating both temperature and pollutants sa ating system. And we could also help, as MServe, we also provide this service, our indoor air quality solutions. So we could help you with the audit, at the same time provide you with the UV solutions or additional filter na ngayon kasi nire-require nila is MERV 13 sa ating mga AHU. So if you have requirements, you could call us para ma-check namin and matingnan natin kung ano yung proper solution na pwede namin i-offer. Thank you, Sir Nico.
All right, thank you, Cholo, for that question. Another question from an anonymous customer. Is 500,000 kilowatts the average of annual consumption? I believe Sir Danny can answer this question.
Thank you, Nico. The 500,000 actually is expressed in kilowatt hours equivalent. So meaning both, that's inclusive of the electricity and fuel used by the establishment or designated establishment. And it is actually the annual energy consumption, total annual energy consumption of the DE. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sir Danny, for that question. For the next question, another question from an anonymous customer. Can the CEM or CECO handle consolidated accounts instead of per meter account basis? I think Sir Danny can answer this again. Sir Danny?
Yeah, sure. Thank you again, Nico. So yes, the certified, or actually the energy manager or the energy conservation officer may handle consolidated accounts for the same entity, but separate documents for each independent facility would have to be provided sa report. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sir Danny. Okay, so another question from Mr. Ted. Does MServe offer PPA for solar roofing installation? What are the options for solar roofing investment? I think Cholo can answer this question.
Yes, sir. I think we'll have to work this out with Spectrum. Si Spectrum po kasi, sir, nag-handle talaga ng mga solar projects ngayon under Meralco. And work na lang po kami hand in hand para dun sa mga ESCO solution. So, inserted, kung sakali pong we could siguro discuss it separately na lang together with Spectrum para po ma-explore natin yung solution na ito. Thank you.
Hi, Sir Ted, to add that on that answer of Cholo, yes, Spectrum can offer PPA for solar roofing installation. And not po MServe, Spectrum po. Thank you. And another question from an anonymous customer. For type 2 DEs, are ECOs also required along with EMs? Hi, Sir Danny. Can you answer this question?
Okay, well, only an EM is required for a type 2 designated establishment. EM na lang.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Ito pa ang question natin. What will happen? Another question from an anonymous customer. What will happen if we were not able to meet the April 15 deadline? Sir Danny, again, can I request for your answer?
Well, since this would be the first, no, we will treat. Actually, the DOE will treat it yung case to case. So as long as basta you can supply part, at least part of the requirement, then pag-usapan na yan ng DOE and between the DOE and the designated establishment later on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sir Danny. Another question from an anonymous, from Joshua of Peter Poloy, customer ko to. May we know who will provide the ECO and EM training? When and where will it be? Okay, Sir Danny, can you help me to answer this question?
So for the certification, it's still being developed by the TESDA and the DOE, and I understand meron parang ibang partner in the development of the training modules. And once it would once available, then i-communicate yun, of course, ng DOE for the certification. And the training institutions will be made known by the DOE, and then whatever kung ano man yung magiging say yung training provider, pag conduct sila ng training, and then the DOE will provide the certification na. So yun yung process for the certification. Thank you.
Okay. Another question from Sir Alexis Reyes. What is current useful life of solar panels? Okay. Sir Alexis, I'll be back to you once I get the information from our Spectrum partner. Another question from you. Are energy audits free of charge? Cholo, can you answer this question?
Yes, sir. Apo. For the energy audits, meron tayong charging po, and it will depend dun sa laki ng facility. At the same time, kung ano bang type ng audit yung i-require. So nabanggit ko na we have 3 types. We have the energy audit, yung baseline. We have the investment grade audit, and yung sa safety and reliability audit. We could discuss it po separately and propose you with a proposal po para dun sa energy audit. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Going back to the question of Sir Alex regarding the useful life of solar panels, I believe Sir Rene can answer this question.
Okay, Sir Alex. It would depend on the brand. So there are brands that could last 15 to 20 years, and those higher end brands naman could last up to 25 to 30 years. So it would depend on which brand the customer would choose and prefer. Of course, your choice would play a factor on the total price of the project. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sir Rene. Another question from an anonymous customer. Has the business center operations resumed to normal? Sir Rene, can you answer this again?
Okay. Yes, they have resumed normal operation and actually even extended their business hours to accommodate our customers while observing proper social distancing protocols. But however, due to the increasing COVID cases recently, the business hours was again modified. So it's 7 to 4 during weekdays and 7 to 12 on Saturdays until further notice. So in case you need to go to the business center, we would advise you set an appointment via the Meralco online app or through our social media accounts. So just to manage your time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sir Rene, for that question, for that answer. A follow-up question regarding one EMO in multiple establishments. It was answered as acceptable as long as the ECO can carry out the responsibilities. My question is it still possible to have one EMO for several establishments but are considered as different companies or subsidiaries? Hi, Sir Danny, can you answer this question?
Um, okay, so if right now the latest guidelines provided by the DOE or guidance provided by the DOE states that for enterprise level, there could be only one, or the the assignment would be handled, say, by the energy manager at the enterprise level. So I guess for subsidiaries, it is possible, but for different companies, I'm not sure if it is possible. Um, Perhaps we can get back to you for the correct answer on that. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sir Danny, for answering that question. We can entertain the last two questions na lang po. Okay, so for this one, another question from an anonymous customer. Is there still a possibility for the extension of the April 15 submission? And if we engage with MSERV for the phase 1 and phase 2 energy assessment and review to aid us of the submission, is this still possible to meet the deadline? I believe Cholo can answer this question.
Yes, Sir Nico. Thank you for that question. So, yun sa extension po, right now wala pa pong nire-release si DOE na magkakaroon pa ng another extension kasi it was already moved from June 2020 last year na submission, minove na siya to April 15 this year. Currently, dahil sir sa dami rin ng volume na nag-engage sa amin for the consultancy, we could still help you with the submission pero nag-cut off kami until March 30 for the training and consultancy. However, we could still proceed with the training alone, which will help you train yung mga M natin and SECO para mag-fill up ng form. So mostly on assistance na lang kami on how to fill up and guidance. Pero hindi na namin kaya siyang for April 15 na full consultancy package due to the limited time.
All right. All right, thank you, Cholo, for that answer. Okay, for the last question, we encountered a problem with the building official regarding the applied demand factor. Can MSERV provide technical assistance with correct power capacity sizing? Cholo, can you assist me again on answering this question?
Yes, sir. Yes, MSERV can provide technical assistance for this correct capacity sizing. Siguro include na rin natin dito yung audit to check nga kung ano ba yung actual consumption and saan tayong area pwede mag-improve.
All right. Thank you, Cholo, for that answer. So I think that was a very fruitful discussion. Clearly, we have a lot to discuss, but we hope that we're able to clarify and cover most, if not all the topics. Thank you for our panelists for joining this for joining our Q&A. If you have further questions or concerns, we encourage you to contact your relationship manager so we can be of help. You may also visit our website at www.corporatepartners.meralco.com.ph. Thank you again, and we hope to see you soon in our future meetings and webinars. We hope to do this more often. That is why we are posting the link to our survey form at the Q&A panel. Please share with us your thoughts on how best you can gain more useful information and tips from the Meralco Corporate Partners. I am Nico Paolo Bahio, your host for today. Good afternoon and stay safe, everyone.